What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. And right now, I feel like $100,000.
You are listening to Inspired Insider with your host, Dr. Jeremy Wise.
Dr. Jeremy Weiss here, founder of InspiredInsider.com, where I talk with inspirational entrepreneurs like the founders of P90X, Quest Nutrition, and many more, and how they overcome big challenges in life and business. Our sponsor today is Rise25.com, which helps service professionals, doctors, lawyers, coaches, accountants, stop just trading time for dollars and shift from one-to-one client work to one-to-many. Rise25 is an exclusive accountability and group coaching program for professional service entrepreneurs who want to scale up and stop just trading time for dollars. It was founded by my business partner, John Corcoran, and myself, where we bring together like-minded entrepreneurs from different client-serving backgrounds. Go to rise25.com. There's one thing on there you should check out. Download your free dream product ladder. It's actually planning out your product ladder, your business on one sheet of paper. So check it out. And big thanks to Matt Monroe, who's a rock star photographer, and he's a person who's covered 4 of our retreats at Rise 25 because he introduced me to Ben. And I'm excited to introduce you to Ben. Ben Jacobsen founded Jacobsen Salt in 2011. And they are the first company to harvest salt in the Pacific Northwest since, get out your history books, since Lewis and Clark. The company has transformed from a local small business to a nationally recognized brand as one of America's leading premium salt makers and can be found in such places as William-Sonoma, Whole Foods, and many more. And Ben, I think we'd agree there's humble beginnings there where you start off taking 5-gallon buckets in your Subaru to hauling 10,000 pounds of salt water each week in your U-Haul and staying up 72 hours at a time per batch. So, Ben, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jeremy, for sure.
So, Ben, I know this comes with sacrifices, building up this company. I mean, in the beginning, you were staying up for days at a time to do this. What are some of the sacrifices you've made to make this business work?
I've just, personal relationship sacrifices. I went for close to 2.5 years without getting paid. Getting basically just taking money from the company when I had to have it. Actually it's more than 2.5 years. It's closer to 3 years, and then just kind of the sacrifices of work and not being able to go ride your bike in the middle of the day for 4 hours is, I miss that for sure. And that's, I love cycling and I love running and exercise, and I certainly get it in now, but it's not the way it used to be for sure. But that's okay.
So how many people does it take to harvest, get all the salt, and create the salt now?
We have 12 full-time employees at our facility on the coast, I believe it is, and it might actually even be 13 now. We just did an org chart and I used to count, but 12 full-time employees that are super dedicated, and I think our crew out there, I'm proud of them, and they're kind of the unsung heroes because nobody actually, or very few people actually meets the people who make the salt, and I'm just super proud of what they do every day, and it's not, they're out there on the edge of the world on the coast, and it can be a little bit lonely, and it's beautiful, and it's just a very special place to be able to spend part of your life.
After you, who were the first hires? What did you hire for?
After me, let's see here.
I can't do this by myself anymore. I need someone.
Yeah, I hired 2 people who helped make salt over when I needed sleep.
Which is every day, possibly. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and then so it was 2 salt makers, and then I remember I hired Molly, and Molly started out doing part-time deliveries for us because I really needed to be able to take a couple of days off And I also wanted to be able to deliver it to our customers rather than once or twice a week as soon as they needed it. So within, a couple of hours, because I believe that our customers are the ones that are the only reason that we're here. And so I want to put them first always. And so anyway, we hired Molly, and Molly's been with us, close to 3.5, 4 years. And she's awesome. Now she is our distribution manager and kind of plays puppet master between supply chain and our customers to make sure we, product and goods are flowing in the right direction at all times, and there are no outages.
I mean, when you were figuring, since not many people or no one's really doing it like this, how did you figure out the process? Did you go to Denmark or Norway, or where? How did you figure all of it out?
The process of making salt.
Yeah.
It was just trial and error. It was, I knew it was a reduction of seawater in some capacity, and obviously there are infinite ways you can do that. And so let's figure out the best way and the way that, makes our salt super clean and briny with no bitter aftertaste and this kind of brilliant translucent white, and then and really easy to crumble in your fingertips if you want to.
Talk about the byproducts, because you have a number of byproducts that come off from producing the salt.
Yeah, we have effectively 3 byproducts right now. The first is our calcium and magnesium, and that essentially is if you spent time like on a rock wall or weightlifting or whatever, it's chalk. It's so right now we're working with a couple of chicken farmers and flower farmers in Tillamook County to see if that calcium and mineral might be a good soil or fertilizer amendment for chicken eggs and then for soil. And the second one is steam, of course. Right now we've got a couple of ideas that we're working on around that. And then the third one is it's a magnesium Epsom salt. It's a bitter, and so what's left over in the salt pans after the end of when all the salt is made is this bitter, and it's very bitter. You wouldn't want to eat it, but it's primarily a magnesium Epsom salt. So we take that and we dry it out, and that's a bath salt, effectively. So
it's healthy for your muscles and everything, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're just selling that in very limited amounts right now. We're sitting on quite a bit of it, and we're just kind of waiting to get the packaging together before we put it out into the market.
That's so interesting, because the byproducts are, their uses for those byproducts. Totally.
Yeah, we have with those 3 byproducts we have no waste. So that's pretty
a
fun.
Good tagline. Yeah.
Totally. It's pretty fun for sure.
So the steam, you could still do something with the steam, you're saying?
Yeah.
Wow.
Working on that.
That's amazing. And so for you, there's the logistics of making the product, and there's the logistics of selling the product. What are some of the ways you manage the logistics of selling? Are certain softwares you use, or programs, or for inventory and everything else? What do you use for the actual selling?
Right now we use a combination of shared Google spreadsheets, which are pretty great. And we use a lot of those, and shared Google Docs to Dropbox to share, assets and images and that sort of thing. And now we just implemented Salesforce a few months ago. And so between those tools, those are our most fundamental ways of kind of managing that sales process. We also use Shopify to run our website, and that's been super, pretty easy to work with, and it's a good works for us.
Where can people get it? So you can get it on your website. Jacobsen Salt is Jacobsen salt.com. Where else can they get it?
Yeah, they can get it on our website. They can get it from William-Sonoma stores, and then from about 1,800 different specialty shops around the country. So anywhere from, a De Laurenti in Seattle, Washington to, which is down near Pike Place Market, to Farm Shop LA and Farm Shop, or in LA, which is this great, kitchen store, kitchen and market, to, let's see, Dean and DeLuca around the country, to Italy in New York City and Chicago, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm in Chicago, Italy.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And then all sorts of great chefs use our salts on their, in their cooking, which is, so if you're going out to a great restaurant, there's a chance that they might be using our salt, which is exciting.
What was is there anyone in particular, any restaurant that started using it that you were particularly excited about? Any chef or restaurant?
Yeah. There was, to me, it's the kind of our local heroes. The chefs that are based here in Portland were the first chefs I ever met, and the first chefs I started working with. And to me, that was just incredibly humbling, because I would go into these people's restaurants before I started this company, not knowing anything about food or how it came to be. And here I was walking in the back door of these restaurants, delivering on a Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday morning type of thing. And to me, that was just really humbling to be a part of that behind the scenes process of how, great food gets made. And then, of course, you work with, really well-known chefs like April Bloomfield in New York City that uses our salt, or Michael Simon at, I think he has a restaurant in Cincinnati, to chefs all over the country. But then also, it doesn't have to be great fancy food. It can be, there's a food cart in Portland called Tight Tacos, and they use our salt to finish all of their street tacos, and it's really great food. And there's another one called Chicken and Guns, and they make rotisserie chicken and potatoes, and the chicken fat drips over the potatoes and onions, and they all cook together, and then they finish it with our salt, and it's just delicious. And so it's the folks who are winning James Beard Awards and Michelin Star Awards, to the folks that are running really great food carts that deserve recognition.
That's awesome, Ben. So for places like, people can't yet get it on like a Walmart.com or an Amazon.com.
We do now sell on Amazon.com.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So people can get it there. Okay.
Yeah.
So I can encourage anyone to go to jacobsensalt.com. They have amazing flavors. I'm going to get some black garlic salt for sure. And also you have, I was reading, I think your sister, produces honey also.
Our sister company, yeah.
Yeah, so what is...
Yeah, so we about 2.5 years ago we acquired Be Local, which is a small honey company, and they were, it was a very small deal, but we loved the brand, and it was about to go out of business, and we wanted to try and keep it in business, and so we were able to buy it and save it, and we from there on have grown sales to a very, very large extent and made it a sustainable business. And we now employ a full-time beekeeper, and he manages 42 hives from Bend, Oregon, where Deschutes Brewery is, to Seattle, Washington, to Portland, and all over the place. And super talented beekeeper and just a really nice guy. And so, and really what it comes down to is we felt very comfortable doing this because honey, like salt, is an elemental cooking ingredient, and we think we make the best salt on the planet, and as a result, cooks and home cooks and chefs need something to sweeten their dishes with, and so it's either honey, agave nectar, or maple syrup, or sugar, that sort of thing. But honey being kind of the least processed of all sweeteners, we thought was a really good fit, because salt is, core at its element, and so is honey.
So where can people find that? What's the website?
Belocal.com, and
it's
then
BEE.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And then also on our website, Jacobsensalt.com.
Okay. Salty and sweet.
Salt
The
and sweet.
ultimate salty and sweet.
Nothing goes better.
So last question, Ben, this is really fascinating. It's really those core elements, and that's when I was doing the research. It's the story behind how it's made is really remarkable. And I just want to hear about two things. Since it's Inspired Insider, I always ask what's been a low moment and then what's been an ultra proud high moment for you. Start off, what's been especially challenging low moment?
They seem to happen every day. But then you also get the highs too. What's been a low moment?
Because oftentimes people see, I saw, Jacobsen Salt in William-Sonoma, Whole Foods, and like people don't know it took, 4 years for you to even talk to the person or get into one of these places. It took a lot of grit and hard work, and so I always like to highlight one of those tough times.
We had a tough moment for us for me trying to grow the business while keeping current customers satisfied, but then also we had an issue with a former employee that had taken money from the company, and that was very, very difficult to deal with, both personally, just knowing that somebody had betrayed you like that, but also from a financial and cash flow perspective, trying to keep the boat afloat, and that was a very, very, very difficult time. Yeah,
it's like I haven't paid. I haven't paid myself in 3 years, and someone is taking money from the company.
Yeah, exactly. So that's. But we're beyond that now for sure. But that was most definitely a very difficult moment or period of time. And then honestly, like, the best moments for me are somebody that tries our salt for the first time, or tries our salt, tastes our salt on a daily basis, and for me to see the reaction of them tasting great salt for the first time and knowing how transformative that can be. And it sounds silly probably to folks who haven't tried great salt before, but it truly is the most effective way to elevate every bite of food, is using great salt. And you can spend $25 on a bottle of wine, and that'll be gone in an hour. Or you can spend $10 on a package of good salt, and that'll last you for months. And if you care about the food that you use, or even if you don't, try using great salt, and you will be amazed by how it transforms your eating experience.
Yeah. What about a proud milestone? And actually, William-Sonoma is probably a big one. What's another big one that you just your sheer grit brought you to, with not sleeping and
being able to afford health insurance for all of our employees? I'm still proud of that, and that's been a couple of years now. But it's being able to do that just makes me super proud, and we're never going back on that as a company. So, the healthier we get as a company, the more we can do for all of the whole team. So makes me super proud, and it's fun for me for sure.
What's next for Jacobsen Salt? What's next year? What's on the future? What's on the whiteboard?
I'll have to see. Growing out our online sales is important for us on our website. And then growing out our retail presence here in Portland, and then on the coast. And then, we've got a ton of different, fun plans. But ultimately, I want our salt to be made available to Americans across the country, because I believe it's that good, and I believe that that Americans deserve a better salt.
Yeah. Ben, I want to be the first one to thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Everyone should check out Jacobsen with an E, salt.com. And, thank you.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. I really appreciate it.
What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sailing. 100 grand.